forever the sentimentalist that I am for people who are so very impressive, which are usually the people I love dearly. I am standing in the spot that Fred had in La Posa South. I had to come out here and get some water, and my sister Sherry had suggested that I come out and collect some rocks. I also figured I would do some just some footage, but the morning after he showed up, when I met him up at the ranger station and got to this spot, this is where we talked from about 10:30 in the morning to about 2:30 in the afternoon. And I was wearing black sweatpants and I was sweating. Anyway, but I just dealt with the fact that I was roasting in him because I didn't want the time to end with him, and it actually happened to be that we wound up spending about 10 hours together in 3 different spots that day. Again, we had no problem talking, that's for darn sure. And of course, the funny part of it is none of the stuff, not much of it, was new because we both stalked each other on Facebook. So, that's good. Anyway, so yeah, he had his truck parked basically where my car is. Actually, his truck would be right in front of where my car is. That's pretty much where I parked in the first place. And then his trailer was in this area and the door facing this direction. So he was facing pretty much southeast. Anyway, and he hadn't unpacked. He hadn't even gotten his bike out of the trailer yet. And he didn't that entire day because, well, not that I was intentionally trying to commandeer his day, but I did. I took over his day. So the back of his trailer was probably about, probably about right here, because you had the length of his truck, and then the trailer was about here. I remember it being close to the edge of the road. And, well, yeah, and, no, okay, he had his truck, and the back of the trailer was about right here, because we sat by the scrub brush, so the first night he got here, those were the mountains that he took the picture of the sunset over. That was November 15th, 2024. Oh my gosh. And because, that's the cactus that he took a picture of, that he loved his cactus. And that is an impressive cactus, that is for sure. So he sat out here, and all the stuff that he filmed in November and December was probably right in that spot, right next to these shrubberies, or right there. Again, he had said that it would be fine if I went and camped by him. The only problem is there's like no cell service out here. And then when it blows up, December and January out here, and everyone's trying to get online, I would not have had any service at all, and I can't do that with work. He did send me some links for Starlink last spring, but buying it in the first place, and there was even like refurb Starlinks for like $350 or something, but the thing I ran into is every month the bill would be like $150, and I didn't want to do that because if I had an extra $150, it was probably going to go into the RV. Anyway, I never really did take a look around anywhere else. Had I been out here, I probably would have been in those that rocked off area, because that was still empty when he got here. So I would have been like right across the street. Oh my God, I screwed up with. I told him on November 18th that I liked our mornings in the sun. But I am right now probably a good 1.5 miles off the road. And then I'm on across the street in a different LTVA, and I'm a good mile into it. So being that morning was not my strong time, I joked with them and I said, well, I don't know if I can get my butt in the car early enough to get over here. I don't know. It was, you have regrets. It's one of those things where I'll tell you right now, if you feel strongly about something and just put the BS aside and just drive the damn 3.5 miles or whatever it is to go sit with your favorite person in the sunshine in the mornings and make that a daily habit and just get over yourself. And I didn't do that. And I will kick myself for the rest of the time on that. Anyway, so here's some pretty cool, well, it's not driftwood, and it's definitely not alive anymore, but, yeah, I'll get a picture of these before I, leave here, but I think he may have even posted this, actually. This is right across the little road from him. And again, I apologize for whatever you're seeing on screen because I have my glasses on and it's so bright out here. And apparently windy. So yeah, someone got themselves a little fire pit and a little stove, and wow. That's impressive, huh? Little pizza oven, and they've got a little fire pit going on there. They got race cars. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'm seeing on screen, mainly because I can't see the darn screen. Yeah, there's a spot. Someone left their chair there, so I don't know if they're coming back or... Wow, look at all that firewood that they've got there, though. Yeah, everyone just puts together their little neighborhoods and stake their spots and put out rocks. And Quartzsite really is a cool place. It really is. The community comes together. It's much like Black Rock City, except not a lot of art installations versus what you have out there. There's the Bart Simpson. He would occasionally show up, the Bart Simpson laying on his back. That's the Kofa range. And yeah, needless to say, I'm going to go stand in his spot. For those that are familiar, and it's true, we get not inheritances, we get things given to us, or I'm forgetting the word, but people have energy signatures, obviously. And it's not only, it's where they were and what they touched. And, oh, we got dust rolling around out there. It is a bit breezy. But here's some more wood on the ground. You know about me and my trees and all the wood I like. But, yeah, this is where he was at. And, yeah, things have energy signatures, whether they used them or they were there or they were passing through or whatever the case may be. Those energy signatures stick around for a while. And I don't know if anyone was in this spot after he left, but I'm going to pick up a couple rocks that I can. And I picked up some rocks out in California, out on the beach last Sunday. Started a little rock jar. yeah, I won't be able to come back to Quartzsite. Matter of fact, I've got about 21 days here left. I am clawing at the walls to get the heck out of here. My memories here, good, bad, very lonely. Yes, I met him out here. Matter of fact, I could add to, I don't want to add to where I met him, but you have to drive past the area I met him. I don't know. Hell, I'll go and do some footage over there too. And I know you're like, okay, enough of looking at the desert, but let's just say right there, that empty spot next to the shrubberies is where he put out a lawn. Oh, did I have my lawn chair? Yeah, he was going to pull out a lawn chair for me, but I had a lawn chair, so he didn't have to dig it out. And he dug one out for himself, and we sat here baking in the south exposure sun for 4 hours talking with each other. And at about, I don't know, 2:15, 2:20 that day, he's like, well, I can see I'm not going to get anything done. And I'm like, sorry. I said, I'm just so excited to see you. And then he got up and he was going to get something, and I said, well, I tell you what, I'll leave because I'm roasting in these black sweatpants. Midday sun, yeah, roasting. And I said, I tell you what, I'm gonna go back to my rig, change my clothes, obviously, get something to eat, go to the bathroom, because, yeah. And he looked over his left shoulder at me. He was reaching down to get something off the ground or something, and he looked over his left shoulder at about, well, pretty much where I'm standing. And he looked at me and said, you want to meet me up at Beer Belly's in an hour? And I calmly said, sure. I think I did a pretty good job of hiding my holy monkeys. Let's keep this going. And I calmly walked to my car. That was pretty much right there. Calmly got in the car after I put my chair in it. And I drove down that road, and when I was out of sight and I knew he was in his trailer, I sped through the rest of this LTVA, a mile and a half back up to the road and over to my rig, and I took the fastest shower. So I got back to, and the speed limit's 15 miles an hour in here, so it takes a bit of time. And I went through there, got into my LTVA, got into probably doing 23 miles an hour, but my LTVA doesn't have pavement, so I had to do 15 miles an hour. Got into my rig. It takes about 15-20 minutes to get my hot water heated up, and I took the fastest shower ever known to anyone who knows me knows I take at least 20-minute showers minimum. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, did my hair, my makeup, put on a nicer outfit that could breathe rather than, black sweatpants. And because I was cleaning that morning, I really didn't look all that great, trust me. And then got into town within that hour, and then calmly and collectively walked in like, oh, hello, I'm here. I know he knew that I took a shower, and I had changed my clothes, and yeah, I may have even had some makeup on. He gave me a little, kind of like an all-knowing smile. He had, oh my God, he had easily 6 or 7 different smiles, probably a lot more, but I knew what he was thinking, and I'm like, yeah, so he didn't say anything, but I was like, I think I may have even said, yeah, I had to take a shower because I was just slimy with the sweat. I was in black fleece sweatpants at 2 PM in the desert in direct sun. Does not make a good combination. And I don't know, it was probably, 75, but 75 in the sun, feels like 85 or 90. So it was, oh, and I would have gone back earlier to go change, but I didn't want him to be like, okay, well, I'll see you around or something. I mean, once I had his attention and I was in his presence, there was no way in hell I was going to break that link. I'm like, no, I will stay here and I will sweat and I'll probably spontaneously combust, but I'll be happy doing it. So, yeah, I probably lost 5 pounds of water weight that day. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to go and pick some rocks, and then I'll stop by and see if I can film where I first met him too. And yeah. But yeah, this is going to go down. Matter of fact, I might even pin this spot because this is, again, I'm very sentimental. So anyway, all right, talk to you guys later. Bye. You guys see what I'm seeing? I just noticed this. I think that's the Goodyear blimp, or it's really big. I've got my glasses on, so I can't see very well. Or it's a UFO, that could be too. You never know about these things. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, that's a Goodyear blimp, I guess. Huh. It's just flying right over. Yeah, I'm still in Fred's spot. Picking up rocks. It just occurred to me I should glue them together and make some kind of a, you know, a little tchotchke I can sit on my desk. Well, there's something you don't see very often, huh? That's pretty cool. All right. This is where I was parked when I first met him. And I was probably back just a little, but there's that, if you look at some of my earlier pictures in Quartzsite, that is the tree that I would take like sunrise pictures through. I don't want to get too far out there. And this is a fire pit I helped build. The people that came to camp next to me were not, I don't know, worthy people is the best way I can put it. And they are the people that didn't like me. And so that's why I went down after, 2 days after Fred went to Yuma. I contacted him and said, hey, can I come to hang out with you? Because, I was living in my car, and the only person I knew other than the people that were just not very nice to me here was Fred down in Yuma. So, so I texted him. But to give you an idea of my little story of Fred, so the fire pit's here, and then I was standing probably about right, probably about right here, and he parked, see if I can do this without dropping the phone here. Sorry, I shake. He parked about right there. So like by where like that circle is, that's where he parked his truck. Just, I don't know, probably 10 feet off where that circle is on the ground there. About 10 feet right over. So he was probably, 75 feet away or whatever from where I'm standing. And, whoops, sorry. And there were like 3 or 4 other trucks that showed up with him. And they parked, here and there and everywhere. But I zoned in on that cranberry wine-colored red metallic Ford F-150. And I saw other people in my peripherals. There were about, 3 or 4 or 5 other guys that showed up. And other people were standing to the left of me here, you know, left of this picture, and the other women. But Fred got out, he saw me. I was dumbstruck. I was planted in this spot right here, and he saw me and put on a big old grin, and he beelined for me, just straight up to me, and said, "Hi, my name is Fred. I have a motorcycle." And I just was like, okay, cool. Oh, when I come back, I'll pin it, like I said, April 11th. I'll go over and stay in Fred's spot before I leave and dump my tanks and all that. But oh my God. And then actually, right over here, that New Year's Eve picture I've got pinned on Facebook, and those green Christmas lights that were in Fred's stocking cap, he asked me to help him pin them on him. So he had the hat on his head, and then he had the Christmas lights. He knew what he was going for, and he actually happened to have like safety pins in his truck, so he went back and got the safety pins, and then oh my, came back, and so this is the lit cactus right here. They weren't here this year. Had they been, I would have come back over, whether the not so very nice people to me there or not, I would have come back over to the lit cactus. But there were a couple of fire rings, as you see there. These cleared off spots on the ground is where their rig was parked, and they had their carpets and, you know, their outdoor rugs and stuff. And we were sitting about right about here. So, yep, on the ground. Well, we weren't on the ground. We were on chairs. We were on lawn chairs. That's one thing you do out here is you bring a lawn chair and a drink container anywhere you go. And we were right here, and he was to the left of me, and it was at night, so, you know, I couldn't see very well anyway, and he had that stocking cap on his head, and I was trying to pin the green lights, you know, like roll the edge over and put the lights in between, you know, and then pin it and not stab him in the process. Yeah. So, yeah, this is where the lit cactus. So if you've ever seen my pictures of, you know, they had Santa Claus sitting right here, sitting at the base there, and took a picture of him. And I'll get a picture of that too. But yeah, this is, and it wasn't too far. I mean, you can tell my car's sitting over there, so I wasn't too far away. I mean, the joke was, you know, we're an east suburb of the lit cactus was the joke, but the women that I wound up camping, or they wound up camping next to me because I was there. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll say this, I won't go into all the different things and all the hubbub and all that crap because it's just negative energy. But when I texted Fred and said, hey, can I come down? You know, I've been kicked out of this, you know, mean girl bunch is basically what it was, because they were still living in 7th grade. He's like, yeah, sure. And I got down there, and our very first night or whatever, we're sitting around, and he goes, so you figured out that you're better than that group? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. You know, I'd never thought of it that way, but I sure didn't want to stick around with that BS. And the only reason I never moved is because I didn't know anyone else, and that was a good spot for me. And, you know, you have to be in 500 feet of that little building there, the vault toilet, if you're not self-contained. And so he told me that one of them, the raging biatch, that one, her name is Jessie, he said that she was really, really jealous of me. And I'm like, I don't know what I'd be, whatever. But yeah, he's like, no, she's really jealous of you. I figured she didn't like my strong demeanor because she was trying to be strong and be the top queen bee. The thing is I didn't care, and maybe that's what ticked her off the most, because I wasn't going to fall in line. I don't know. Again, I wasn't going to talk, but I do want to point out. And then the other one, Jody, who fell in line and shoved her head up Jessie's butt, proverbial wise. He said Jessie was a piece of work and totally jealous of me. And then, in all seriousness, he looks at me and goes, "Is something wrong with Jody? I mean, is she mentally okay?" Because she was just sitting in her lawn chair and kind of smiled with a glazed over look, with a beer can in her head and, in her hand, and her dog on her lap. And she was just, she was really wishy-washy, just please everyone else and just bend over backwards. And, I just roll over for people. And obviously that wasn't me. It will never be me. And then the other one was Karen. And Fred's like, I get really bad vibes from Karen. And I'm like, yep. And there were things that I disclosed to him that confirmed his bad vibes. But yeah, she's yeah, that whole three group. And like I said, they came over and camped by me. I was over by my little single cactus there. And Jody first showed up and found out she was from Minnesota, so we started camping together. And then she met Jessie, and Jessie was from Minnesota, and so Jessie came over and started camping by us, and that little weird power dynamic bullshit, And then there was then Karen eventually showed up, and she's a real piece of work. She's the one that threw a banana peel at my car. I tell you, they were just the queens of the 7th grade whatever behavior. It's just immature, infantile behavior, and I obviously don't roll that way. And Jessie did not like the fact that I did not jump when she said jump and cater to her. Yeah, we were clearly not compatible. So yeah, when I got kicked out on January 6th, and then the morning of January 7th, I went down to Yuma. Yeah, that would be right. 7 is our thing. A lot of 7s. That's what it was. Oh my God, that's what it was. I'm having these epiphanies of various things, various messages I've gotten, and 7 is being one of them, in different configurations and such. And yeah, I went to Yuma on January 7th. I left Holtville on February 7th to go back up and do my rig, and then I had a week, March 31st to April 7th. 7 is apparently our number, and other things, 7 a.m. sunrises and 7 p.m. sunsets, and we were out for each one of them. We religiously watched, unless, like I said, the weather was bad, it was raining or really windy. Wow, these things just all come together, it's just, if you sit there long enough, and you don't even have to think about it, it just pops in to your head. But yeah, that's what that was all about. Anyway, all right, well, I'm gonna get back in the car, go get some water. All right, before I get back in my car, so that's the lit cactus right there. He parked his truck basically where I'm standing, right off here. He got out. You see where my car is right there, and I was probably about 20 feet off that. 15 feet, whatever. And seriously, he got out, saw me. I don't know if he saw anyone else. He saw me, put a big old smile on his face, and, I was just tunnel vision. just absolute tunnel vision. This guy beelined right up to me. I know it's ad nauseum. It's like, okay, Kirsten, my God, we get it. And it was right about here. Hi, my name is Fred, and I have a motorcycle. Oh my God. Life-changing. The whole thing has been life-changing. It's been unbelievable. And I'm so, so thankful he beelined up to me. All right, I gotta go get some water.